Good night. Welcome to Teleislas News with the most relevant and important information of the day. A man was admitted to the departmental hospital with gunshot wounds at around 1 p.m. According to the medical report, the subject has gunshot wounds on both hands and is currently awaiting surgery by an orthopedist.
En la tarde de hoy llegó un paciente sexo masculino con heridas por proyectil de arma de fuego.
Today, a male patient arrived with a gunshot wound to both hands. The patient was admitted with general signs and was treated by the general emergency doctor. He underwent radiological studies showing fractures of both hands and underwent orthopedics and is currently awaiting surgery by the orthopedic specialist.
The National Navy alerts the community to avoid falling into cases where people outside the institution ask for money in exchange for positions within the institution.
It seems that people outside the National Navy military base are making calls offering job positions within the National Navy. Therefore, Lieutenant Colonel Jair Santis, commander of the Marine Infantry No. 11, informs the following.
We allow ourselves to inform that people outside the institution are supplanting military personnel in order to ask for money in exchange for offering vacancy or positions in our institution, especially in the Marine Battalion No. 11. We want to clarify that these ill-intentioned proposals are totally false and do not correspond to the institutional mission or the functions of the military forces.
The commander gives some recommendations to be taken into account to avoid being victims of unscrupulous people.
Taking these facts into account, the Colombian Navy is allowed to make the following recommendations: not to receive calls from anyone who claims to be a military person demanding money in the face of promises of job vacancy or any services. In case you receive these calls, report immediately to the National Police and the Colombian Navy to take the corresponding legal actions.
And the National Navy informed that 98 citizens of Honduras were in the waters of archipelago were returned to their country.
The Colombian Navy supported the humanitarian efforts to transport and return to waters bordering Honduras 98 people who were in San Andres since September 8 after the fishing boat Mistress G of Honduran flag in which they were transported was caught by Colombian naval units carrying out illegal fishing activities in Colombian waters. The humanitarian transport was carried out in support of the government of San Andres and Providence, Colombia Migration, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. In this way, it was possible to coordinate efforts between the chancelleries of Colombia and Honduras in order to comply with the supplementary administrative measure imposed by the Colombian Immigration Authority and guarantee the conditions of human dignity of the Honduran crew.
In other news, the departmental government, through the Secretariat of Public Services and Environment, continues to provide the service of the crematory oven in the Harmony Hall Hill Cemetery. The service is accordance with the Secretariat of Public Services and the Environment, aims to encourage the islanders to make use of it.
According to information provided by the Departmental Administration, the relative of the deceased person must approach the Secretariat of Public Services with the death certificate to fill out the request authorizations. Currently, the costs of the service are covered by this office. Likewise, the person has the option of taking the ashes home or using the niche in the cemetery. Secretary Asville Brian Gomez indicated that with this work, the intention is for the relative of the deceased to be encouraged to use this service that will be of great help for the entire department. Along these lines, the Secretariat of Public Services and Environment is working jointly with the Secretariat of Infrastructure for the expansion of the Harmony Hall Hills Cemetery.
And with the objective of preventing early pregnancies in the framework of the Andean Week, work is being done with the apprentices of the SENA on how to prevent this problem in the islands.
The Andean wind continues on the island, where today the departmental government and the San Andres Senate work with young people to develop preventive strategies around pregnancy prevention at early age on the island.
El día de hoy, en nuestra regional, estamos.
Today we are working on the subject of early pregnancy prevention, which has to do with the Andean Week, where this subject is also worked on at the departmental level. Today we are working with the apprentices in the entity on the importance of the subject. The purpose is to guide young people in their process, particularly in this stage, so that they do not have a pregnancy at an early age. Today, officials from the government are working on the subject of contraception and the values we must have to prevent an early pregnancy.
As a general message of the discussion, the importance of abstinence is highlighted at age where sexual intercourse should not take place, in addition to using safe contraceptive planning methods. Throughout the current week, activities and discussions will continue in the Senate focus on different important subjects for the youth of the islands.
In other news, this September 23rd, the archipelago is getting ready for the Great Walk for Health 2022, which the national government is carrying out throughout the country.
The Ministry of Sports, in coordination with the departmental government through the Healthy Habits and Lifestyles program of the Ministry of Health, will conduct a 5-kilometer walk this Friday, September 23rd, where all citizens can participate.
We are inviting our community or entity to come out and walk. We are going to walk 5 kilometers from Park Archibald till Mango Tree, that is the Sendero Ecológico. This event is going to be Thursday 23 from 5 a.m. We're going to take pressure. We're going to start 5:30 a.m. to start walking from 6 o'clock to the Sendero Ecológico. So we are inviting you to come out and walking for Colombia.
During the event, there will be health professionals who will be in charge of monitoring the condition of the participants.
La participación de Secretaría de la Salud.
The participation of the Secretariat of Health will be with the taking of glucometer and blood pressure samples before the warm-up. This will be done between 5:30 and 6. At 6, we will leave and we will have the support of other professionals from the Secretariat of Health, and we are ready for the event.
The departmental government invites all citizens to adopt healthy lifestyle habits and be part of this walk.
And through the National Program of Coordination, the Ministry of Culture invites different sectors of the islands to participate in a call focused on strengthening the artistic and cultural sector in the country.
The professor at the National University through Teleislas News invite young people to enroll in one of the 50 programs available in the special program of admission and undergraduate academic mobility at the National University.
To the university and inscribe, we have more than 50 careers in a different teams. We have health, in a health we have medicine, we have nurse, we have all kind of engineer career. We have system engineer, civil engineer, mechatronic engineer. So you have more than 50 options to choose between all the careers that we have. Which is the requirement to apply? You have to finish 10th grade and 11th grade in anyone at the school then from San Andres or Providence.
It is important to remember that to apply, the young person must have complete 10th and 11th grade in an institution of San Andres and Old Providence and must take to the facilities of the National University their ID card and their OCRE card.
The Secretariat of Mobility have been doing preliminary works in the central area of the island as they are analyzing the different points where vertical and horizontal signage works would be conducted.
From the Mobility Secretariat, the appropriation of vertical and horizontal signaling works was carried out under the slogan Pequeñas Grandes Obras. This came about from an agreement made earlier in the year 2022, a contractual work in conjunction with the National Road Safety Agency.
We are making an initial visit with the contractors and with the inspectors of one of the most important works that are by virtue of an agreement that the governor signed with the National Road Safety Agency, which is to do with Pequeñas Grandes Obras in the department. We have already seen how in recent days it began in the ring road perimeter where you see some speed reducers. totally different given that the community has vandalized the speed reducers that they have previously placed. These speed reducers are going to save lives. Likewise in the urban part. We already started the inspection of works yesterday where both inspectors and contractors are showing us the different points to be intervened.
In these agreements, the intervention will be carried out on several roads, prioritizing speed reducers for pedestrian safety. This was reported by the head of the Mobility Office, Luis Viloria.
We have points at the Barracuda, on the Newval Avenue, at the Portofino gas station, on Colon Avenue, 5 Corner from Schoolhouse to the Black Dog sector. This is going to allow people to identify what is the proper process of transiting on the roads. These activities that we do is to reduce and raise awareness.
With these actions, the Road Safety Authority seeks to protect the lives of citizens in sectors with a high flow of vehicular mobility in the island's urban area.
And now it's time for Sport News with Victor Fusalva.
Hello, here are the best sports of the island, and this time with an outstanding participation of an Old Providence under-17 basketball team national-wise. An outstanding performance by the Providence under-17 team that participated in the sports exchange in the city of Medellin, organized by the Inder Envigado. The Providence team played the final against the home team Envigado, but it was not enough for them to obtain the first place, which went to Envigado and Providence in second place. Third place went for Itagüí, and in fourth place the team from Antioquia. It was a great experience for the Providence team that begins to add experience to the young basketball players of Providence. Congratulations to this team that raised the colors of Old Providence and Santa Catalina. Another outstanding athlete from Old Providence at national qualifying games. Providence is live with a great player who helped to qualify for the Bogota national team, the team she plays for and has opened doors for her. Bogota qualified with Chelsea McLean batting and demonstrating her talent in the shortstop position. One of the important games in which Chelsea stood out with 3-on-3 and 2 runs batted in to beat Sucre 3-1. We talked with the outstanding athlete who told us more details about her experience.
Well, that was a great experience for me, playing with Bogota. The first time Bogota has been so in a high level in softball, in the national, and I hope we keep the better for us. So that signifies a lot of me, a lot. Passion, love. Yeah, I would like to come back and play home with my island team because no matter what, I am from home. And I would like to play back with my home team. I would like to invite all the youth to come out and enjoy and play sport because playing sport is a wonderful thing. It takes you out of a lot of things, it opens doors, you get a lot of opportunity. Well, I would like the governor to, like the major too, they support more the sport in the island. San Andres, Providence, Catalina, in softball, football, basketball, any sport, but to help out the sport then so we can get more ahead and, you know, go ahead and play off the sport and enjoy the sport. I love how we like to do it.
What a good example of our outstanding athlete who projects in softball by having on high the colors of the flag of our sister islands, Old Providence and Santa Catalina. And with Providence showing their talent in sport will be the end of this broadcast. We will see you another time. We continue with Lisa.
Thank you, Victor. With Sport News, we reached the end of this broadcast. We see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. with more of Teleislas News. Good night.